Verse 97. Sri Vishnu Sahasranaama Stotra. Araudraha Kundali Chakri Vikram Yurjita Shashanaha Shabdatika Shabdasahaha Shishiraha Sharvarikaraha. Araudraha Kundali Chakri Vikrami Urjita Shashanaha Shabdatikah Shabdasahaha Shishiraha Sharvarikaraha. Araudraha, not wrathful, not vengeful. Kundali, with earrings, called Makara Kundala. Chakri, bearer of Sudarshana Chakra. Vikrami, endowed with great prowess. Urjita Shashanaha, with powerful commands. Shabdatigaha, one who is transcending speech, that is beyond words. Shabda Sahaha, proclaimed by all the Vedas. Shishiraha, the dewy season. Sharvarikaraha, maker of light, maker of night. Araudraha means not wrathful, one who has none of the terrible negative urges and emotions which are very common in average human beings. The state of perfection is a condition where the frailties and the weaknesses and the defects of the mortal heart can never remain. The Lord is one in whom the cruelties which rule the man of the world, likes, dislikes, hatred, jealousy, and such other imperfections, it can never reside in the Lord because He represents the state of perfection, the state of equanimity, the state of samatvam. The Supreme is free from these negative qualities because he is Atmastitaha. This is denoted by the very next name Kundali, means one having Makara Kundala as the earrings. The earrings here, known as Makara Kundala, they represent Jnana and Karma. Jnana is the knowledge. The term Kundali also signifies the serpent, that is, the Kundalini Shakti, called the serpent power. Now, the Kundali, which is coiled in a mystic glory, lying quite inert, uninvoked at the base of the backbone in the deep pelvic region. By meditation, by great sadhana, the serpent can be awakened, made to rise through the chakras and go up to the Sahasrara chakra, which is the highest level. Here, the serpent may be taken as the thousand-hooded or thousand-tongued Ananta, Anantasesha, on whom Lord Narayana is shown as reclining during his yoga samadhi. Now, the symbol and the serpent symbolizes the mind. This is true in most of the religions. Whether it is Krishna shown dancing on the Kaliya serpent called Kaliya Madhana, or Lord Shiva wearing an ornament of serpents, Sarpabhushana, or Lord Srihari himself resting upon the Ananta in a reclining position, the basic idea which is conveyed in all these metaphors and symbolism is the conquest of the mind. The mind which can act like a poisonous serpent if it is not kept under control. The Supreme, who is shown wearing Makara Kundala, is also shown armed with a discus, that is chakra, that is Sudarshana chakra. He's called Chakri. Chakri is a bearer of discus. One who is always wears a discus, he is called Sudarshana. Sudarshana actually means Sudarshana, good or auspicious vision. Now the Lord destroys with the discus not the individual, but only the negative aspects, the foul and low aspects in beings. And once this is destroyed, the individual concerned gains the experience divine, that is the self. Actually, this is shown very clearly in Mahabharata when Lord Krishna severs the head of Shishupala. The soul, the Atma of Shishupala comes and merges in the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. That shows his extreme compassion for the real being living in that body of Shishupala. While Makara Kundala is a divine ornament, Sudarshana is a divine weapon. The Supreme Being is thus endowed with great prowess. So he is called Vikrami. Vikrami is one who is more daring and powerful than anybody else. Vikrami also means one who travels by air, as V means bird. Lord Vishnu is always shown on Garuda Vahana. He is shown traveling on the white-necked eagle called Garuda. Now the Supreme is very powerful. All his commands are extremely powerful, which can never be disobeyed. So it's called Urjita Shashanaha, one with powerful commands. He commands and administers. His commands in the scriptures advise us. His commands can be in the form of the scriptures. Now, the scriptures advise us very clearly what is the right thing to do and what are the destructive forces, negative forces which are there in each one of us. Shruti Smriti Mamai Vagne. Shruti Smriti Mama Eva Agne. That means the Shruti and Smriti are my commands. In case man decides to disobey the commands, the laws contained in scriptures, then Mahavishnu has no option except to punish such beings on whenever the occasion demands. So disobedience of law is immediately followed by his loving curative punishment. This is a beautiful phrase. The punishment is curative. The punishment is meant to reform. The punishment is to uplift the individual. But this is the law of karma. No exceptions. The law of karma or this law, wrong actions followed by punishment. There are no exceptions. It accepts no excuses and it admits no circumstantial conditions or relaxations. That's why it's called Urjita Shashanaha. The Supreme is also called Shabdatigaha, one who is transcending the speech. Transcending the speech means transcending the words. That means one who is indescribable. He cannot be described through mere words. Even Vedas also, they only give pointers. They give only indications pointing to the truth, but they cannot explain because the Supreme is beyond explanation, beyond description. There's a saying in one of the famous Sanskrit slokas, Sanskrit sayings are Nashabda Gocharam Yasya Yogi Dhyayam Parampadam. The supreme abode on which the yogis meditate, Yasya Yogi Dhyayam Parampadam Nashabda Gocharam. It cannot be described through words. It is not possible. So it's called Shabdatigaha, the infinite and the eternal truth, which is beyond even the Vedas. beyond all that can be gained through even highest faculties of the finite equipments, namely mind and intellect, but does not mean that cannot be attained. It can be attained only by transcending the mind and intellect, going beyond the body, mind, intellect, equipment. The Supreme is one who is proclaimed like this by all the Vedas. So it's called Shabda Sahaha. Shabda here denotes Vedas. Now he is proclaimed through Vedas. Vedas make these Mahavakyas. They tell exactly what the Supreme Being is. He allows himself to be invoked by the Vedic declarations. Now, if the Vedic declarations are properly reflected and sincerely meditated upon, even though the Vedas have failed to define the Supreme, their contemplative implications by means of sincere meditation, sincere sadhana, this contemplative implication can transport us into a higher realm, a higher plane, where we can experience the infinite divine experience. We can get it only at a much higher plane. That is by transcending, as we say, body, mind, intellect, equipment. Now, the Supreme Being gives lot of relief to the devotees, to the beings from samsara tapa. Tapa is heat, the discomfort, the problems which we face, the tension which is inherent in this mortal life. He is the one who is giving relief to you. So, symbolically, it is said Shishiraha. Shishiraha is the dewy season. Shishiraha denotes winter, the cold season. Of course, unlike the Western countries, in India, winter season is relatively cool. It is pleasant. It gives break from the severe winter and the humid rainy season. Therefore, what this name is suggesting is that Lord is a cool arbor for those who are tortured by heat of samsara. Now, the Lord denotes extreme eagerness. He is extremely eager to give relief to the devotees from what we call tapatraya of samsara. From this, he gives relief. But what about those who lack faith and knowledge? For them, the Supreme is dark, dark, like the night. So maybe they may think the Supreme is maker of the night. Sharvari Karaha. Sharvari means night. Sharvari Karaha means ones who make the night. To them, it becomes like a night. But night has a great deeper meaning here. Night is not the day and night which we refer to. Here, night refers to darkness, ignorance, inability to understand. So, for the men of realization, our world of sorrows and pains, stresses and strains, worries and anxieties, this very same world for them is something totally different. It is unknown to them. They are much above this world of sorrows and pains because they are living in a higher level. They see this. Bhagavad Gita beautifully describes this contrast between the people who know and people who do not know, the great yogis and the ordinary average beings. This is in verse 69, chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, almost at the conclusion of Sankhya Yoga, which in all has 72 verses. It says, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasya Jagarti Samyami. What is night to the average human beings? In that the samyami, the yogi is awake. That which is like night, not night, that which is like the night to all the other beings, therein the sun controlled one keeps awake. And the contrast of that, यस्या जाग्रति भूतानि तसा निश्या पश्यतो मुनेः, where the impermanent worldly pleasure for which beings are awake is like night to the wise sage. What basically it means is the world, the attractions of the world, which are attractions for average person, these have no meaning for the sage. To him, the worldly attractions, the mortal ones, these are called temporary uh, sense objects. They are not interested in this. But we are running after this. We wait for this. For us, this is something like a day. We are running after all these objects. In that particular period, the sage quietly withdraws. He is not interested in this. To him, this is like a night. But what is like a night to the world, like the Supreme, the great divine, the great spiritual world, which is totally blank and dark and of low interest whatsoever to average beings, is like a night to them. So, what is like night to them? That is the one which has real meaning for the yogis, for the sage. To him, it is like a day, or he says is awake. So what it basically says is, what to us it is like a day, it is like a night to them. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. In this sense, the Lord is known as a Sharvari Karaha, maker of night for the ignorant fellows, ignorant people. But it is not dark at all. With this, we can conclude this verse. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.